Well, all right. So I'm looking at scripts. I see we got Black Knight, aka Savage, aka Yeti, aka Will. So he submitted some more virtue pages. So that's cool. I got an email that I just went live on YouTube, so that's always useful. And and we have Mario, who has submitted Chronic Beetlejuice Algorithm. So I certainly look forward to that. And we got my pages. So
that's a pretty good batch.
Yeah, the other two aren't here yet.
I had a good chat with Yeti /
yeah
/ whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Last week, and
really
okay. Yeah, like when we closed up, I was like, dude, you're writing, and this is good writing advice, which is why I'm saying it now. You're writing a shonen battle anime or manga set in a school. Why aren't you just, like, for all the stuff that you're not sure how to do it, just do it like a shonen battle manga? Like, go read one, take what works, and don't worry about trying to reinvent the wheel here. And I think he really took that to heart in an interesting way. So I'm actually really excited because I'm hoping that copy what works.
Oh, well, here we go. Hey. All right, Black Knight.
Will address some of the issues we've kept bringing up.
Yeah.
I was just talking about how we were talking last week about how I just recommended you draw more direct inspiration for plotting from shonen battle manga. And so I'm excited to read your pages.
Okay. Yeah, the next couple pages I already wrote before this little discussion happened last week, actually, so it probably won't show up maybe until later.
Well, a man to dream.
All right. Speaking of this, so you're here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. Share screen. All right, we got some more virtue. So is this picking up right where the last one left off?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Need a recap, I can say it.
You go ahead.
Let's do it.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so basically last week they got into a really massive fight and they ended up fleeing into a courtyard, so this is where they pick up and stuff.
Okay. All right. Who would you like to narrate?
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of voices. I guess Danny can narrate.
Sure. All right. So, page 1, panel 1. Alexandra stands tall with her chest puffed out. Her face is sheer determination.
Which of you is ready to face me?
Panel 2. Alice crouches down as she transforms the upper half of her body into the monster wolf. Her transformed body is hulking muscle covered with blood-red fur and massive fangs and claws.
I am.
Panel 3. Alice lunges at Alexandra, claws outstretched and ready to tear into their enemy. Panel 4. Alexandra blocks Alice's attack with her shield, which causes a shockwave. Panel 5. Alice and Alexandra are knocked away from each other. Panel 6. Alice lands on her feet and grits her fangs. Page 2. Panel 1. Alice lungas again at Alexandra. Alexandra is on one.
That's something on your mind there? You know?
Yeah, we're writing this while thinking about JDA and Lunga.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm just reading what's in front of me here. Panel 2, Alexandra unleashes a blast of electricity from her free hand.
Wait, we have a question from the peanut gallery. So does only her top half turn into a wolf or a reverse mermaid?
Answer from the peanut gallery? I fucking hope so.
Yeah. No. So the Black Knight, do we have any answer for that question?
So basically how I wrote the character is that she could transform parts of her body into this monster wolf form. So now it's basically her upper half that transforms.
Boy,
so
that's like crazy furry right there.
Yeah.
Like the top half is all furry and the bottom half is still feminine.
Yeah, I mean basically full body transformation looks like a werewolf, basically, you know.
Right. But partial. Okay.
This
All
is a
right.
good example, by the way, of what we were talking about last week after hours. I was saying, like, whatever you do with your characters is by itself going to be interesting. So just, follow your muse there. This is a cool idea. It works. You're going to need to explain it somehow, but it totally works.
Yeah.
Blast of electricity. Alice cries in pain as she is blasted back a good distance from Alexandra. Aye. Also, panel 3, Alexandra stands up. Her right hand is crackling with bright yellow electricity. Crackle. Caption, Alexandra Duncan. Superpower, demigod physiology. She is the half-mortal daughter of the Olympian god Zeus. Demigod, she has superhuman physical abilities and is a natural in combat. Being the daughter of Zeus grants her some of his elemental powers. Panel 4, Alice now on all fours in her first smoking. Glares at Alexandra, who is off panel. She is fully transformed and has a long red tail.
Okay, now I'm mad.
Panel 5, Mike, who is now in the scene, launches a flying attack and Alex launches a flying at Alice's back.
You need to learn to watch your back.
I'm pretty sure there needs to be a noun in that phrase, by the way. Panel 6, Mike gets body slammed from the side by Herschel. Oh, this is just big pile up. Okay, this is fine.
Pile up with
Herschel's
candy.
shoulders and upper torso are transformed into red rock candy. Still boring. He is smiling. Can we just call him Hershey?
Sure. Looks like you didn't learn that much either.
Page 3, panel 1. Mike and Herschel face each other. Mike looks stern while Herschel has a toothy grin. Panel 2. Mike goes into his fighting stance and the golden aura surrounds his body.
You think you can fight a master martial artist? Come and try it then.
Panel 3. Herschel turns both of his arms into blue rock candy.
Oh,
Still
boy.
boring.
Look, I want Herschel to turn into maple syrup and smother someone to death in like this gruesome way.
Like, super move, chocolate coffin.
Yeah.
Right? Like, take these superpowers to the next level. This is a thing you have this awesome opportunity to do.
Remember, like, they have to start off small and then develop, just so they're not OP in the beginning.
Exactly.
True.
You have to wait.
Rock.
Herschel has a line. Whoever Herschel is.
When I'm done with you, your whole body may need to see a dentist.
That's a pretty good line.
That's a good line, yeah.
Panel 4, Herschel charges at Mike, his right fist drawn back. Panel 5, split panel with Mike countering Herschel's haymaker with a spinning back kick and then landing a roundhouse kick to Herschel's unchanged face. Blood flies from Herschel's mouth. Panel 6, Herschel punches Mike in the gut. Cool. Okay. Page 4. Panel 1, Mike gasps out in pain and has the breath knocked out of him. Gasp.
It seems like Wonder Twin powers, shape of rock candy, form of Pez tablet.
Does he have a special move called the Jawbreaker? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Gasp. Mike knees Herschel in the chest and headbutts him simultaneously. Cool. Panel 3, Herschel staggers back away from Mike. Panel 4, Herschel wipes the blood off his bloody nose and smiles. That should have been way earlier.
That definitely hurt, but I'm ready to go all out.
Panel 5, Mike somersaults above Herschel, ready to land a dropkick on him. Panel 6, Mike's kicking leg. Does he have a kicking leg? Is ensnared by Herschel's right arm, which is now an elongated gummy worm.
Oh yeah.
Page 5, panel 1, Herschel gives a bloody grin. Panel 2, Herschel wrenches his arm down and the gummy worm moves like the crack of a bullwhip and slams Mike hard into the ground, causing dirt to spray everywhere.
Gummy worm slam!
That is a good panel. You need more panels like that where people scream out their moves because this is a shonen manga.
There you go.
Panel 3, Mike is laying on the ground in pain. Groans. Panel 4, Herschel smiles.
How'd you like that? Pretty cool, right?
Panel 5, split panel of Mike getting up from the ground and getting back into a fighting stance. Panel 6, Mike glares at Herschel as the golden aura envelops his body even more intensely than before.
Okay, no more playing around, Candy Boy.
Panel 1, Alice and Alexandra stare each other down.
This battle is for the gods. Try to give them a good showing, beast.
Panel 2, Alice spits onto the ground.
I don't give a damn about your gods. This fight is for our own development.
Oh boy.
Panel
Yes.
3, Alice and Alexandra charge at each other. Panel 4, Alexandra picks up her spear as she charges by it. Panel 5, the two of them close the distance, and Alice leaps into the air, ready to swipe at Alexandra with her sharp claws, and Alexandra swings her spear at the same time. Panel 6, the attacks meet, and Alexandra's weapon radiates electricity. Page 7. Panel 1, Alice's right arm is zapped by a powerful current of electricity. Panel 2, Alexandra stumbles back to the sheer force of Alice's attack. Panel 3, Alice grasps her smoking right arm and looks at Alexandra with a pained glare. Alexandra is off panel. Panel 4, Alexandra grasps her spear tightly and her eyes crackle with electricity.
Taste the rain. No, taste the power of Zeus, beast.
Panel
I feel
5,
like there should be like a comma there. Otherwise, it sounds like Zeus beast is like
I
one.
confirm there absolutely should be a comma there,
Yeah.
unless the line is taste the power of Zeus Beast.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Wonder what Zeus Beast tastes like.
I don't know what Zeus beast tastes like. I don't know.
But apparently it's powerful.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like durian and it just powerfully smells of feet.
Could be.
Yes.
Panel 5, Alexandra thrusts her spear forward and unleashes a bolt of electricity from the tip.
Thunder God's spear.
Panel 6, Alice crosses her arms to block the bolt of electricity as it electrocutes her. Page 8. Panel 1. Alice steps towards Alexandra, pushing back against the current of electricity attacking her. Panel 2. Alice takes more steps towards Alexandra as her body is being electrocuted and smoking.
Boy, she's tough.
She's the mer werewolf, right?
She's the furry. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess she is supposed to be tough.
Yeah.
Panel 3, Alexandra's face looks shocked at Alice, who is off panel. Okay. Panel 4, Alice delivers a mighty uppercut to Alexandra's face and knocks her off her feet.
It's going to take more than a little lightning to bring me down, Harpy.
Panel 5, Alexandra gets up from the ground with the help of her spear. Panel 6, Alexandra glares at Alice as her spear crackles with electricity.
Then I'll show you the true strength of a child of Zeus. And again, we need a comma here. Heridan.
What does Heridan mean?
I believe that is a woman who tends to nag and be very bitter.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
an
I
old
don't know any of
fashioned.
those.
It's an old fashioned insult for a woman.
Yeah, a
I
woman
can't
named
believe
look, a man named Barry. Okay, you got to know Barry. Barry is a special gift. But like about 6 months ago, okay, Barry was, Vicky. There's litigation between us. Vicky lost, all that good jazz. But Barry was like, no. You shouldn't use coarse words. He would later abandon that philosophy, by the way. But at the time, he was like, you shouldn't use coarse words. You should call her a Heridan. And I'm like,
Oh God.
what what the fuck is a Heridan? So I know. When that word came up, I'm like, oh yes, a Heridan. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
And also, another reason not to use that word is in the description for page 9, panel 1.
Yeah.
Duck and Hadrian
Yeah.
stare down Isaiah. Bright red flames cover Isaiah's body.
Wow. Yeah.
And we need an Isaiah.
Prepare yourselves for judgment.
Panel 2, Duck unleashes a big blast of air at Isaiah. Panel 3, Isaiah fires back with a giant torrent of flames that collide with each other. Okay. Panel 4, 3 massive tentacles shoot out of Hadrian's upper torso and rush at Isaiah. Panel 5, a large black lion pounces on Hadrian, knocking him to the ground. Who the fuck's a lion? Okay, whatever.
Don't.
Panel 6, the
What's
black
the-
lion brings
You'll
his
find out.
head down towards Hadrian's head. Page 10, Hadrian knocks the black lion off of him with 3 tentacles from his chest.
Go, Larry.
Okay. Switching roles. Bad kitty.
Panel 2, Hadrian gets up from the ground.
There's a reason why wildcats shouldn't be kept as pets.
Panel 3, Agatha smiles as she opens her spellbook.
He's more than a pet. My familiar can take many shapes. It makes him extremely helpful.
Panel
There you
4, the black lion lunges at Hadrian for a second time. Panel 5, split panel of several of Hadrian's tentacles comes out of his outstretched arm to ensnare the black lion and then gets spun around at fast speeds. Panel 6, Hadrian's tentacles fling the wildcat into the sky. Hadrian goes through a throwing motion with his body.
Eldritch toss.
All right.
Yeah,
That's what we got.
it's good.
There was a lot of these 10 pages were a battle scene, right? Like all 10.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was a big battle. So we had people fighting, and I mean when people are fighting, it's not boring. So cool. We saw some interesting characters. Like there were some good lines in there. And there were some panels. Danny was commenting like, "Hey, I like the gummy worm stuff. We're seeing more from Herschel. In general, I think like you go to rock candy a lot, and I don't know that rock candy is really all that intimidating. I've never been intimidated by rock candy.
But have you
So-
been hit by rock candy?
It's not really meant to be. It's more like just that it's really hard and stuff.
Yeah.
So we just
but
go
rock
through it
candy's not that hard. I mean, if we're comparing Herschel to Colossus, for instance, Colossus is hard. Colossus is steel.
mean,
or
I don't want to
Wolverine's
spoil.
claws.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil anything. Let's just say, like, you're gonna. I'm kind of spinning my own physics into his
Okay.
character development. You have to wait.
Okay.
I just want to spoil.
Fair enough.
What-
Okay.
Is rock
all right.
candy is rock hard.
There's a
question,
reason
so-
why there's
yeah.
rock candy. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. All right. Super good. Okay, Larry, what do you got?
Yes. Is rock candy is rock hard. It works.
Yeah.
Lots of fighting.
Yeah.
No boring parts. Good pacing. all
And,
good.
and a fair amount of homoeroticism. So,
There were tentacles. There was rock candy,
Tentacles,
rock hard
there was
candy.
It's
There
not
was
just food that make you happy.
gummy worm
No,
whips.
yeah.
I mean, after he
And you
did
got
the gummy,
rock.
yeah. After he did the gummy worm smash or the
Yeah.
gummy worm like smash or whatever he did the gummy worm. Anyway.
Yeah. Then you found out that Agatha's familiar can shapeshift into a lion for
Yeah.
extra attack mode.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
It started
But
off
then
as
again-
a cat, and then it was a lion.
I
This
didn't
isn't the
remember
John script, so I don't expect any eroticism. So
Right.
No, I'm trying
Yeah.
to at most keep this PG-13.
There you
That's what I aim for. But PG-13 in comics is dirtier than PG-13 in the movies. Like
it's like
I don't know
70s
why.
PG-13.
More
Yeah.
so for me, it's kind of more like PG-13 for violence level and maybe
Okay.
some swearing, but like it's more like the violence is where the rating comes from. Other than
Yeah.
that, it's kind of
Yeah, no, that's good. That's a good place to aim. It's good for all ages. So
Yeah, this
Wow.
was a pretty solid scene. For the most part, you kept the action pretty contained, like 1 or 2 pages per scenario. You switched up the characters really often. You did the appropriate shonen thing and had people scream out their moves. You need to do more of that. I really like that, and it actually
Yeah.
adds character to your universe. And like we were making stuff up as I was reading it. Like people were laughing. This adds character to your universe. It's fun. And you've got characters with like really cool sort of specific abilities, some of them, and those are fun and are good for sort of imagining how they would do in a fight with other characters. So you have done all of these things quite well.
just don't use the ability Candy Crush because you might get in trouble.
You totally should do it and
Yeah.
hope someone sues you for the publicity.
yeah.
Although that would be funny. a really good reference anyway.
Yeah, like all of that stuff, you should be having fun with that. This
Yeah.
is why we keep
Yeah.
saying the Candyman is the best character. I think that's one of the reasons why.
There's so many puns.
So many puns.
Just go with it. Yeah.
Like, candy cane jail. Bam, let's go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right, constructives. I don't feel like there was. I'm not exactly sure what it needs because I'm not a huge fan of My Hero Academia or Shonen Jump or any of that stuff. So, I felt it was entertaining.
Yeah.
And Danny probably knows way more about this stuff than I do. So
Danny
what do you
does,
think? Okay.
which is why he's going to go last.
Okay. All right, Larry, go ahead.
Yes. You need to scrap all the fighting and put more talking scenes in the middle. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, it's fine the way it is. Yeah. No,
Okay.
seriously, it's good. Yeah.
All right, Danny, go ahead.
So, you do need to actually have more talking scenes in the middle, and you need to scrap the unnecessary captioning, and have people just talk about, you can't defeat my lightning, whatever. I'm the daughter of Zeus. I'm superpowered. I can do this. Wahahaha. You need more.
Yeah.
And then one thing that I thought was really missing that you drew a ton of attention to in the lead up to this is a sense of the location.
But I feel like, and Danny, look, let me see if my understanding of the genre is right. But like, when like kindergartners fight, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well I'm gonna transform into Godzilla and smash you with my tail," and they come back with, "Oh yeah, well I'm just gonna be the whole ocean, and then you can't smash me, and then I'll drown you." Like, is that kind of like?
That's
like,
kind of that, yeah. And
Okay.
then
That,
in,
yeah. It's
in
sort of like
fighting
that, yeah.
series, someone needs to actually explain what the powers are, because you can't just stop for an entire panel of someone explaining what this one person's powers are. That takes you out of the story, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
In an anime, they're like characters on the sidelines are usually like, "Oh, okay, well he's using a super powerful move, but if this other guy does this or whatever, then it's just not going to work. What do I
No,
do?"
that's
Or
just
if you're doing
Yu-Gi-Oh,
Dragon Ball,
yeah.
you have the characters thinking about it.
Yeah.
I've only got
Yeah, I think,
or attack. What do I do here? What can I try next?
They never stop and explain solar
Yeah, see-
flare in Dragon Ball when he uses solar flare. So
Yeah, I think the idea I was going for was that, like, for the readers, they kind of want to know what their powers are, but it's kind of like, oh, would characters actually stop in the middle of fighting, explain, hey, here's how my power works, you might understand how to beat me, so I'm going to keep my abilities a secret, so you have to, like,
The
figure
way
it out.
this traditionally works in manga is people reveal these secrets as they're about to commit their attacks. So you actually
Yes.
add that dialogue to the running at each other's scenes.
Yeah.
And that actually, it fills up the space, it slows down the reader, and it explains what the hell's going on, because you don't have animation working in your favor here.
he dodged my attack. I didn't even see him coming. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so,
Stuff
yeah,
like that.
but like,
Yeah.
as a story thing, you spent a fuck ton of time in the lead up to this, drawing attention to the location and what kind of area space this was, and none of that was present in the fight. So that should be in the background. People could be like, oh, the superpowered goddess runs along the wall and then jumps at our mer werewolf from the side with the spear out, like whatever. Like, you use that location. If you're going to put people in a location, you should use it. Otherwise, they could be in a field. Why aren't they in a field? Why did you spend so much time developing this location that might as well be a field, which is a lot easier to draw? So I'd like to see some of that. And I've got a question, which is, what is a split panel?
Wait, what? Say that again?
What is a split panel, and why do you keep writing them?
Split panel, I guess the idea was that it's kind of two panels for the size of one panel and stuff, so they're kind of two smaller panels fit into, like, one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could say it technically is 7, although the size of them could kind of fit into one. So I just think, like,
I know manga is supposed to be 6 panels per page, right? So that's the
yeah. I mean, it's also sometimes described as, like, it could either be like two actions happening at the same time, or just like a very consecutive action.
Okay. When you get to your revisions, it might be, and like I noticed this in a couple of places, there might be some places where you can just remove panels entirely and have that action in another panel. You have a lot of follow-up panels that just show the reaction to something. And there was like one place around either page 7, page 8, or page 8, page 9, where like someone gets hit and then like, then blood comes out their nose was the follow-up panel to that. And like that could be the same panel. So it might be worth looking for ways to show the work that's a bit more efficient without having to confuse anyone by sort of subdividing the action or to show too many action lines when your illustrator should be focusing on the figure work. But that's like partially a production thing, and generally, I mean, for this stuff, you're getting to the point where you just want to cut stuff because you can, so that way your art can be bigger. But yeah, no, this is good. This is actually delivering on the promise of the series, it seems like. And this sort of conflict is a good medium for character introductions and development, so I'm glad you're using it that way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, next week, next chapter we'll get some like duck action stuff.
As long as Herschel stays in the story. Uh-oh. If you lose Herschel,
like the chapter after, potentially, yeah.
Okay. If you lose Herschel, you lose me. I don't know. All right. Who wants to read? Who wants to narrate?
I just narrated.
Larry, go ahead.
This is a bad idea, but sure. Yeah.
Why is it a bad idea?
I don't know. It's just a bad idea.
Whose story is this?
This is fine. I wrote this. Do you want to read it, Will?
No, Larry can read it if he wants.
Yeah,
all right, Larry, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Page 1.
I wrote it metric.
Yeah. Page 1, panel 1. A 3-kilometer long, 1-lane concrete road forms the spine of an industrial complex meant to allow R&D to continue in the event of a nuclear strike. Formidable secure doors to administrative offices, laboratories, and the occasional coffee shop line the corridor. A ceiling sits 30 meters above. Railed walkways parallel to the concrete path below allow for movement between the offices on the second and third floors, and feature the occasional staircase going between all floors. A futuristic, heavily armed sentry robot moves along its dual continuous tracks as it surveys the hall, looking for intruders to exterminate with its menacing chain guns. Caption: Continue patrol of main complex. 2:24 a.m. There you go. Panel 2. The sentry turns its head to the left and scans its environment. Panel 3. A red eye opens as the sentry's face, which is really a collection of cameras and sensors, as it continues its scan. Panel 4, Sentry point of view. A thermographic image shows a small rodent hiding in the shadows along the cool hallway. Caption: Computer font. Life form detected. Radis norvegicus. Sorry. Panel 5, a sentry moves a lot further down the hallway. Caption: Placing requests for extermination. Resuming patrol. Panel 6. A sentry turns on its treads to assess the threat behind as an explosion launches from one of the doors on the second floor story above the
The sentry turns on its treads to assess the threat behind it as an explosion launches one of the doors on the second story above the floor into the air.
Yeah. There you go. And then there's a line.
Okay, I can do it.
Go for it.
Explosion detected.
Yeah,
Boom.
boom. Yeah.
Okay, page 2, panel 1. On the second floor, overlooking the sentry robot as it turns to face him, stacks Murdoch, a human whose body has been extensively modified by technology to include feature subdural armor and enhanced combat ability, who carries a futuristic assault rifle. He wears body armor designed to protect him from the worst.
Armed sentry, S111, ground floor.
Panel 2. The sentry robot opens fire with its dual miniguns as they shell out an obscene amount of rounds at Murdoch standing on the causeway. Panel 3. A cascade of jacketed armor-piercing 10mm bullets tears through Murdoch, whose cyborg body fragments into pieces, exposing his metal-reinforced skeleton, synthetic muscles, and artificial organs as he falls back into the blown-out doorway.
Yeah.
Panel 4. Beatrix, a 30s hacker, early 30s hacker with a punk haircut and an emo vibe, carries a bulky black canvas bag containing her mission gear. 2 coiled black ropes with taped ends hang down from her carabiners. She bends at the waist as she drags Murdoch away from the doorway.
Drek, Murdoch's been ragged.
Scooby-Doo!
Yeah. Holding a handful of what appears to be silver mechanical dragonflies in his right hand, Clark, a bearded man wearing a duster coat and wireless headset, steps behind Beatrix as she continues to assess Murdoch as she lays before her on the floor dying.
He's still conscious. I should be able to get a good mind scan if you give me a few minutes.
Fine, you prepare Murdoch.
Panel 6, close up on Clark's hand as 6 mechanical dragonflies take flight.
I'll take care of the sentry.
Biz. Okay, page 3, panel 1. The dragonfly flies flit out and in the space above the road as the sentry robot fires it from below. Okay.
We got that, and then
Panel 2, one of the dragonflies swoops past the hostile fire and down towards the sentry as the bullets continue to stream. Panel 3, the dragonfly lands on the sensor faceplate of the sentry. Panel 4, the sentry's faceplate explodes. Boom. Panel 5, smoke envelops the sentry as it's smoke
shattered.
and its shattered faceplate. Okay, there we go. Page 4, panel 1. As the smoke clears, it turns its body and attempts to scan. Panel 2, black. Caption, external sensors disabled. Panel 3, the sentry moves back along the road. Caption, returning to maintenance bay for repairs. Panel 4, Clark looks over to Beatrix, who holds a futuristic rotary saw, typically used for severing metal cables, as she looks down at frightened Murdoch in the throes of death.
Sentry's disabled. I'll blow the door and grab the... I'll blow the door and and grab the artifact while you scan Murdoch's head so we can get out of here.
Okay, shouldn't take long. Holler if you need me.
Gasp.
Panel 5. In the background, arms extend from the back-mounted jetpack, which provide handles for Clark to utilize during flight. In the foreground, Murdoch's dying thoughts go to terror as Beatrix fires up the saw in her right hand and lifts his head to the left so as to sever Murdoch's head at the base of the skull. Ugh. Okay then.
And we got it.
Yeah. Let's see, page 5. In the background, Clark holds the handles of his jetpack as it takes flight and lifts his feet off the ground. In the foreground, Beatrix turns her face away as the rotary saw claws into Murdoch's neck.
First, I gotta get through the steel reinforced C1.
Ugh.
Tat 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 tat.
I
Panel
like this
2.
character, Murdoch.
He's great, isn't he?
This is the best break after narrating. I love this.
We've got yes, Sir Patrick Stewart playing Murdoch. Anyway,
Yeah.
all he does is go Panel 2. Beatrix bears down with the saw as blood and bone flies everywhere. Tat, 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 tat. There we go. Panel 3. Beatrix holds the saw away with her right hand as she grabs the back of Murdoch's head with her left.
I know, buddy. Just need a little more leverage.
Panel 4. Only Murdoch's desperate eyes can be seen as Beatrix clamps her head between her dirty
It should be his head.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Between her dirty pillows. Okay.
Yeah.
With her with her left hand as she attempts to brace it against his head. Brace it against the head against her body during the operation. Anyway, okay.
This is gonna be messy, but I don't have much time.
Still getting over dirty pillows, but anyway. This panel
Don't
five.
get over dirty pillows. We just draw
Yeah.
dirty pillows.
Yeah.
Later
Yeah.
when we give creds.
Yeah.
Panel 5. Maintaining the last panel's position, Beatrix turns her head to the side as she jams the saw into the base of Murdoch's skull. The saw sprays blood and tissue onto her body and her dirty pillows. There we go. Panel 1, page 6. Viewed from her clean side, Beatrix grits her teeth and braces Murdoch's head to her sternum with the left hand, and blood flies everywhere in the background.
Gah!
Panel 2. Viewed from above, Murdoch's head comes free from his body in a cascade of gore as she drives the saw through to the other side of his neck. Panel 3. Blood splatter covers Beatrix, and the exhaust of human remains vented by the saw decorates the right side of her chest as she lifts the head from the neck. All right.
Will.
Gotcha.
There we go. Panel 4. Beatrix removes the brain scanner. A brain scanner featuring on a stainless steel spike designed to be inserted into the brain stream, and 4 tubular circuitry connections labeled jugular 1, 2, carotid 1, and carotid 2. And
Okay, Clark, how are we doing?
About to blow the door.
Page 7, panel 1. Holding Murdoch's head upside down, Beatrix jams the brain scanner spike into a severed C1 vertebrae. Okay. Panel 2. Beatrix insides the circulatory tubes. I think it inserts the circulatory tubes into the severed.
Yeah, that should be.
Okay. Yeah. Carotid arteries and jugular veins. There we go.
Door's clear.
Roger that. Should be able to start the scan.
Panel 3. Beatrix sets the brain scanner onto the floor with Murdoch's head mounted open.
It should be upon it.
Yeah. and his face advertising that he died in incredible pain. Okay, that makes sense. Panel 4. Murdoch's dead face contorts as she flickers the power switch along the circular base of the scanner.
Okay, powered on. Looks like a good contact.
Panel 5. Beatrix stands, leaving Murdoch's face contorting on top of the scanner on the floor.
Okay, scanner's gathering data. Clark?
Panel 1, page 8. Clark, stands before an open laboratory cabinet door behind which sits many pull-out drawers.
Clark,
Yep, I think I found the artifact.
Panel 2, Clark grabs the rust-stained stone bowl with Aztec symbols from the collection of other archaeological artifacts in the drawer.
Okay.
Panel 3, a speckled with blood and gore, Beatrix stands at the railing of the second floor walkway looking down.
I got it.
great. Get back here and let's go.
Panel 4, Beatrix stands over Murdoch's head as the face twitches from the brain scanner.
All right, big boy. Time to go.
Panel 5, Beatrix opens her mission bag next to Murdoch's head.
What's your ETA card?
Page 9, Panel 1, Beatrix places Murdoch's head mounted on the scanner into her mission bag.
Clark.
Panel 2, Beatrix turns away from Murdoch's head in the bag.
Drek. Come on, Clark.
Panel 3, she stands on the second floor landing looking down at the ground.
We don't have much time. Is everything okay?
Panel 4, with apprehension, she looks over her shoulder back into the room.
Are you in trouble?
Page 10, Panel 1, Beatrix descends the staircase.
Clark, I haven't heard from you. Time's running out. I'm coming to the lab.
Panel 2, Beatrix races down the stairs.
Coming down, man. Sound off. You're freaking me out.
Panel 3, having reached the base of the staircase, Beatrix makes her way towards the lab.
Almost to the lab, Clark.
Panel 4, wise-eyed and shocked, Beatrix looks into the laboratory,
Oh my god.
where she sees Herschel with the jawbreakers.
Yeah, she sees
Yeah.
Herschel with the jawbreakers. I was pretty
Yeah.
freaked out.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
That's pretty good.
That was interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
I liked Murdoch when he's getting sauce and stuff.
Yeah.
Ah!
Cyberpunk Taliban videos.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, are we getting? I mean, is he dead? Is he Is he permanently dead, or is it something like?
Well, I mean, his head
Mars
was
Attacks
removed
where
from
they-
his body.
That doesn't mean he's
Okay.
permanently dead.
But I mean,
I know
again,
Mars
this is
Yeah.
cyberpunk. I mean,
Yeah.
what is it? Like, look, it's like the teleporter. Okay, the
Don't
teleporter
need
in
to explain this, Preston. I
Okay.
get that this is Chopping Mall meets RoboCop.
yeah. All right, cool.
But
But you know,
Yeah,
it's,
So
know
that's
you
what I was
see
thinking. Like, she
something,
must
right.
be transferring his mind into potentially a
Yeah.
different body.
sure, yeah,
Or
but
just-
that's not really much of a consolation to the person who's dying.
that's right. Yeah.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
we're gonna take your brain and we're gonna put it in something else. Like,
Yeah.
cool?
At the time, it didn't really matter. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's
The
like-
real
it's
question,
just-
the real question is like, is their soul gone, or like this question of the soul and stuff?
That's
Was
a
it
tough one.
copy?
That's a tough one.
I mean, that would
Yeah.
be the RoboCop part.
Yeah.
That's something for later conversations, in which
Yeah.
the sequel will be based on. Anyway, no.
So yeah, so it's kind of interesting because it makes me. I mean, since it's cyberpunk, it does make you kind of think of a little bit like Blade Runner, where the whole, how long has this person being recreated and stuff, and like all this artificial intelligence stuff.
hmm
Hmm.
Yeah, the details when you had them were good and cyberpunky. And
Yeah.
there was an appropriate bit of action and a mild horror show, so I would be interested to read more based on this.
Yeah. It has a very Deus Ex vibe, which is good for me because I love Deus Ex.
That's great.
So, yeah,
It's all fun and games till you find your brain in a jar.
that's right. Yeah.
Too
And
true.
and then you can
Yeah.
answer the question on whether or not you're just a brain in a jar. So.
Exactly.
There you go.
Because you
Or
are.
maybe his brain gets put into like a Tyrannosaurus. And
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey,
that kind
hey,
of
hey,
project.
we're not going to bring that movie up again. So,
Okay.
yeah. Uh,
That was
That-
terrible,
that-
terrible movie.
does not deserve highlighted. Anyway.
No, I'm so sorry. I
Yeah.
regret everything.
It was only good for internet lows, but anyway, that's it. So yeah, it's good. It's a
Cool.
really good start.
Alright.
I was just gonna say maybe a little bit more dialogue other than
Maybe a little bit more dialogue. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, dialogue from Murdoch.
Not from the dying head, no. But
Okay.
maybe some of the other characters, because they're going arc too, and it's just like anyway.
I think
At
it's
one point in
mostly
this,
the one guy going hard.
Yeah.
nah, I mean, there's one page in there where he's going arg and she's going arg, and they're both going arg.
Well,
Anyway.
she's straining with the
Yeah.
saw,
Okay, yeah.
and he's straining because she's cutting his head off.
Are we in constructives now?
Go
I guess
ahead.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we seem to be.
Okay.
Danny, did you have
Yeah.
anything to say before we go?
Well, I thought we had good positives, but
Okay,
anyway.
yeah, okay. All right, go ahead. All right.
So I really like the
Right.
the setting that you open with,
Mhm.
which I almost feel should be a splash page. This is like a completely interior office complex with chopping mall style murder bot patrols,
Mhm.
and like a road, but we're indoors. It's very cyberpunk. So that was great. I'd like to sort of lean in on that a little bit more if possible. One example would be like when you describe the guy's artificial organs coming out. That's drawable, but adding barcodes to them, for example,
Mhm.
sort of tells us even more about the world.
Yeah.
And this is the point when we should be doing a little bit more of that.
Right.
I would really like to see what the artifact is at this point, even if it's like, well, hold on, I found something else, come meet me here.
Mhm.
Is where the plot gets diverted to.
The artifact was the stone bowl.
Okay, I seem to have overlooked that.
Okay, yeah.
Mm.
It was just there in like a flash.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm confused as to why there isn't additional stress coming down on these characters who have been discovered by the shopping mall murder bot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's the next round of murder bots? Are the security gates coming down? How we're not making this worse on them, and
Right.
we've already chopped someone's heads off, so we should be chopping someone's head off with a deadline. Can we save the brave? There's a saw right beside your brave. There's robots coming at me. Oh my god, what do we do?
Right.
Like, that would have been, I guess, a more fun way to get into the scenario and to really lean in on the action, given that I expect a large portion of issue 1 is not going to be a Terminator style running chase and is instead going to be explaining the goddamn world. So doubling down on the action early sort of gives us room to do that later.
Go ahead, Yeti.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah, you seem to have some notes.
Okay, yeah. So for constructors, I would say, definitely say, a line that Murdoch should have, before he dies and stuff is that, if he's being transferred into a different body, he should have said, make sure my next body is 6'5", perfect jawline symmetry and stuff.
But
And his
I want to be a redhead.
but he took like 30 10mm rounds to the chest. I don't know that he's really got a lot to say after that,
Well, I mean, he's enhanced. It's described that he's superhuman, right? If I remember correctly, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's not his first rodeo.
Sure, but all right. Look, the question becomes: is the scene enhanced by having Murdoch downplay his demise? I don't know that it is. I'm really
It
trying.
would be pretty funny though. It depends on is there supposed to be humor in the story or?
Their humor is always welcome wherever you can find it. But I was really trying to portray a bit more of a gritty and more horrible aspect of future technology than
Okay.
we see, for instance, with Altered Carbon, where you see a lot of mind downloading, body switching.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that, well, I don't think we'll ever have that technology. I think what we will have is we can have, like, AIs and computers and stuff that have kind of dissected your behavior. They observe you, they understand you, they see how the mind works, and they do their best to emulate what they think you were. So like, but here with Murdoch, I'm just trying to show that as like he's dying and he's dead, but his brain might live on in some bizarre facsimile, and that is kind of unpleasant.
I am deeply excited for the Preston version
Yeah.
of the RoboCop R&D scene.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Also, like,
That's good. The fact that there's like, this is a crisis and here's what they're doing, that's good. It tells us a lot about the world, right? Like, it's gross not because what's her name has to saw the guy's head off. It's because there was a big explosion and there's blood getting on her dirty pillows.
Mhm.
So, see, remember that.
That line seemed to have been a hit.
I mean, yes. So, yeah, like, you have told us a lot about the world here, including that our protagonists seem to be professionals. They know what to do when their robot muscle gets exploded, gets like burninated.
Mm-hmm.
They're prepared for that. They expected he was going to be, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
So that sort of puts us in gritty professional jobber land, right?
Right.
This seems like it's going to be a noir, although it may well, because the artifact is a fucking bowl,
Mm-hmm.
just get magic-y and weird.
Right.
But it seems like it's going to be a noir. Like, they will have clients, or they'll be looking for money, and they're looking for work, and they're going to have to do unpleasant things to survive.
Right.
That's the impression I have of the characters and their situation.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Well, you succeeded then, didn't you?
There you go. Yeah. So, but I appreciate the note on Murdoch, but yeah, like I was really trying to go different than like the 80s action movie where they're kind of making fun of the violence. And I really wanted to show like, the reality of what it would be like, perhaps because I am myself a little older than I used to be, and I start looking at measures that might be taken in a few years to prolong my life if that comes about, and what they're going to have to do, and oh my goodness, some of that might be unpleasant. And so I don't know, maybe that came out in my story, but I also think cyberpunk is a lot of technology modifying the body, and certainly the expectation of immortality. But again, it's immortality in a fashion, and I think we're very curious about that. So I wanted to try and show,
leading into the body horror of that
Yeah.
goes as far back as Neuromancer. So you're in the right place for it.
Right. Anyway, cool. So, any other notes?
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, like, we need to see where you're going.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so we have Mario is not here, but here's his script, and we can review it. Oh, wait, does anybody the 28 pages? All right, so here's page 1, and how far does this thing go? This thing goes to page 16, or 18, or 19, or 20. You know what? Let's do this next time, and Mario can give me some notes about, unless he put it with the script. Let me look.
No.
I mean,
Oh
this-
wait, he did. He said
right.
pages 11 to 20 redid the another underground cyberpunk surgery. Okay, let's
cool.
see who did it better. Here we go. We got underground cyberpunk surgeries.
I vaguely remember this scene.
Yeah.
Like November, there was like the guy from Final Fantasy VII and like some random woman, and
Yeah.
then there was a whole bunch of like drugs, and there's some interrogation got sort of stuck in the middle of it, and then there was some world building with like a flashback to Mitsuha and the guy. This is what I remember.
All right, there's page 11. I'm gonna run grab some water real quick because I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of words. I'll be right back.
Can I narrate?
Sure.
Sure, but I'm still gonna run get some water real quick. But
Do you want us to wait for you?
or you can read as far as you want until I get back.
I mean, there's a certain point where Preston's gonna have to scroll. So
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would just say, just wait 30 seconds. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
30 seconds of dead air now. No, I'm just kidding.
Dun dun dun. There we go.
Yeah, this is another. I don't think I've seen this, so this is a cyberpunk story as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's really Ghost of the Shell.
Eh.
Okay.
It's not really. Anyway. Yeah, kind of.
I mean,
What do you think it is, Larry? Then.
It's more like trying to think of the name of it. Oh crap! I had it on the tip of my tongue. It's another Masamune Shiro property, but I just can't remember the name of it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's more like Appleseed or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All
I'll
right.
buy that.
It's got a Ghost in the Shell look to it, but it's definitely more Appleseed. But anyway,
Who's narrating?
Oh, I'll
Andy
do it.
wants to narrate.
Go
Yeah.
forth.
Okay. Page 11, panel 1, main sewer hub. They are now in the dark blue room with great walls that has entrances to different tunnels. Mitsusha drags a stumbling and pale-faced Fubuki. Fubuki's eyes are half closed, her torso doused in blood, and a bit of loose wires out of her bullet holes.
Hold out for a bit longer. We're almost there.
I can't feel my legs.
Panel 2. Futsuya, still dragging Fubuki, approaches what appears to be a sealed-off metal door. Panel 3. She feels on the floor with her free right hand. Fubuki lets out a groan. A man's voice is heard from the other side. She knocks on the door. SFX. Crank got crank. Crank got gank.
Got ganked.
Hello, Rolando. I'm glad you're writing a comic, and I'm glad you're watching.
There's a dialogue for someone.
What are you here for? There, I read it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Man, sorry.
Panel 4, close up. On the other side of the door, there is a shadow of a man with mutton chops, wearing an apron, holding a large shotgun with a fat pump action lever. The whites of his eyes are wide open upon hearing Mitsuya words.
I'm here for a dumpster dive, and I don't have all day.
Page 11, 4 panels. Panel 1. The door opens inward. Mitsuya, back facing the doorway, drags Fubuki into the room by the arms.
Wheeze.
Panel 2. Interior Veronica's makeshift lab. The mutton chop man closes the door, shotgun still in hand. Mitsuya drags Fubuki to a worn-down medical table, stained with splashes of red, brown, black, and blue.
I love it. So, what brings you around here, Misty? Haven't seen you in a few years. Glad to know you're still alive. I want to say already, I feel this is stronger than last time.
Yes. I don't remember last time, honestly. Yeah.
There was a lot
Panel
more
three.
talking and not very much doing last.
Yeah, yeah.
Panel 3. Mitsuya shakes Fubuki off onto the aforementioned table. Fubuki's torso and ribs are covered with blood. The sides of her mouth are covered with red and black.
Finally got out of that shit shack I called it home. We can catch up later. Jaro.
Panel 4. Jaro stands at a table with surgical tools and a small blowtorch lined up on a cloth.
I love
The cloth is a disgusting brown with uneasy hue, contracting with the fresh, clean tools.
So what'd you need? No one just goes silent for years, then just shows up at the door.
I'm gonna need a few bullets removed and sewn tight. He's not gonna make it back to HQ like this without some fixes.
Hack cough.
Page 13, 4 panels. Panel 1. Jaro winces while bringing the tools over to the table on a soiled cart.
Veronica, we got the case of 7 tracers. Critical.
You can do it, right?
Oh, if it's what I think it is, it's not gonna be pretty.
Panel 2. Jaro rushes up to the operating table with a cart loaded with the tools and various unmarked bottles, syringes, and vials. Panel 3. Veronica walks into frame. She is a Polish lady in her late 30s, comes into frame. Her strawberry blonde hair is in a ponytail. She is wearing a brown apron, dark goggles, leather gloves, and looks out of her mind. Her green iris is shrouded by orange where the whites of her eyes should be.
Huh.
Panel 4. Mitsuya and Jaro both walk away from the table. Veronica has a scalpel with a blue laser tip on the ends of the blade. In her hand, Jaro approaches the door, hand covering his face in disappointed.
Don't worry about it. This shouldn't take long.
You're really going to do surgery while you're on Jabai?
Not my fault that the chump fell like a dying today. We should have waited till tomorrow.
Go back to bed. I'll do it myself.
Page 14, 4 panels. Panel 1. Mitsuya leans against the wall, illuminated by the light of the laser scalpel and a few sparks. Jaro gives Mitsuya a curious and confused look.
How'd she get like this?
Even under arrest, she's a magnet for chaos.
Panel 2. Close-up of Jaro's face. Jaro, back to surgery, has a nervous smile on his face.
So you're a chaser now. Hope the Red Ember isn't here to shut me down.
Panel 3. Mitsuya gives Jaro an upset look.
Of all people, after all these years.
I wouldn't do that to you. If I did, it'd be in an instant.
Ugh.
Page 15, 4 panels. The page has black borders indicating a flashback. Panel 1, low shot. Jaro in his 20s and teenage Mitsuya are looking at a table. Mitsuya and Jaro are both dressed in cargo pants and a tank top combo with armor padding, looking at the reader.
Not after all we've been through.
Panel 2. On the table is a variety of flashy weapons. 1 rifle, 1 magnum, and 2 tubular grenades that look like cybernetic thermoses. Both of them pick up a gun and inspect them. Panel 3, wide shot. The duo are looking at the guns. The room is covered in bullet holes and dead bodies.
Is that the end? Nope.
No, that is not the end.
Page 16, 4 panels. Panel border is white again. Panel 1. Mitsuya and Jero are startled by Fubuki's sudden scream. Panel
8.
2. Panel 2. Jero gives a syringe shot to Fubuki. Mitsuya looks at them, concerned.
What do you mean, oops, if she doesn't confess on the record at HQ and testify, this whole investigation is finished.
Warning, pain levels critical.
Panel 3. Fubuki passes out from the shot.
I shouldn't have assumed she were fully prosthetic when I saw those wires.
I just hope you didn't fry anything. She's no good if she's mute either.
Panel 4. Jero continues surgery on Fubuki, one hand wiping his head.
So you shot her for a drug deal? Sounds like mega city levels of overkill.
Page 17, 3 panels. Panel 1. We see a pair of tweezers drop a bolter into small tray with 4 bullets.
The Snowstorm gang did. She knows something they don't want her to know. If 2 teams struggle to handle users of this, we need all the intel possible.
Panel 2. Wide panel. We see Fubuki's torso. The bullet holes is sealed shut with a mix of welding and stitches.
What's the plan?
Gonna head back to HQ as fast as I can, +1.
You still remember how to get around the sewer system?
I got here, didn't I?
Yes, but you never know if paths have been blocked off or expanded. Take it from a guy who lives in them.
Page 18, 4 panels. Panel 1. Jero puts the tools down.
This one's good to go. She won't feel pain for another hour at least.
Thanks, Jero. Put a couple of pills in her pocket. She'll need them.
Panel 2. Close up. Jero hand has a NIS money card reader. The informal silicone rectangle is marked with a stylized in on them, with a diagonal slash. Mitsuya taps her red NES card with his.
I'll be nice and throw in a loyalty discount.
That should do it.
Beat chip. Panel 4. Close shot. Jero's tired eyes narrow for a second. In the background, Mitsuya helps Fubuki clumsily get off the operating table.
Let me know if you need anything, weapons or medical. Friend to a friend.
Page 19. 2 panels. Panel 1. Jero approaches the duo with 2 tubular grenades, the same kind as seen as the flashback.
And take these gas bombs. Gets rid roaches in the tunnels.
Roaches.
Panel 2. Exterior. Front of CAPHQ. Nighttime. On an empty, dim street, Mitsuya pulls Fubuki out of a manhole.
Help me up.
Try not to undo the miracle job.
Page 20. 3 panels. Panel 1. Interior. CAF interrogation room. Daytime. Fubuki, only slightly drowsy, is sitting in a chair at a long steel table. Mitsuya and Nubaya are on opposite ends of the table. Look at her. Mitsuya has a scowl, while Nubaya has a more stony expression. Panel 2. Mitsuya hands Nubaya the syringe she attained earlier.
I held up my end to the deal. Now you hold up yours. For the record.
Panel 3. Fubuki sits wide-eyed in her chair, afraid.
Who in the Snowstorm gang gave you this?
Those are the 10 pages. So, hey,
This has been a narration by Morgan Freeman. We hope
There you
you have
go.
a very good day.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I think these pages were way stronger. You know, last time I don't remember there really being much tension. So I feel like we added some tension. You know, you took my note on what if the surgeon was tripping, which you went with, which I think was cool. I like that. And you know, it was dirty. It was gross, and I think that's how these back alley cyberpunk surgeries kind of should be. So anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead, Will, expand.
Yeah, like I say, this definitely feels like, you know, that classic cyberpunk feel where, you know, people will go to these, you know, back alley like doctors, you know, but it's in a
Right.
cyberpunk setting and stuff. So that's always pretty cyberpunky to get into that nitty gritty underground like life that's like hidden beneath the very techy, urbanized like cyberpunk world.
Yeah, I really liked this version and how it used a lot of art direction to tell the story of what this world is like. I think that's a huge step up. And the dialogue was significant. I remember vaguely last time the dialogue was weird. Like when I saw the bit about the payment, wasn't that like a page of discussion for no reason, and then he gives her free grenades at the end? So yeah, so much better in this version. And then you cut right to it at the end and like get them straight into like, well, actually at the beginning too. You cut right to it at the beginning, get them straight into surgery, and then at the end get them straight to the police station. So there's a lot less wasted time in this. So this is a good edit.
Have you gone?
Huh?
There he is, not gone.
Oh, okay, all right. So everybody went.
Yeah.
Okay, constructives. All right.
Well, I mean, I guess I can go.
All right, go for it.
I would say like other than, you know, obviously the you know, some of the grammar, you know, because there's some you misuse words and stuff. I don't know, sometimes like I don't know, it seems like, I mean, to me it was sometimes hard to follow the direction and stuff, you know, like when it came to describing the panels. So I'm not sure if, like, I personally prefer if it was a little more simplified. I mean, that's just me and stuff, but that's like my one thing is
I have a technical sort of constructive as well. The beginning, what's his name? Jaro
Yeah.
is behind a door and he's described as man. Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. He just always put his name there. But
Put his
anyway.
name there. There's a bunch of good reasons to do it. One of which is, do you want to do continuity when your illustrator draws a shadow of a different person? No.
Yeah.
Secondly, you know,
Exactly.
if you were to have actors, is casting the same person. So don't hide it from the people who are making it. Hide it from the reader. You're already hiding it from the reader by putting him in shadow. Don't hide it from the production team. You're just wasting everybody's time. Just call him Jaro. It makes life easier. And then if you do have random man, you know it's a random extra.
Exactly.
yeah, because like the script is not really written for, like, say, the reader to look at. It's
No.
written for the artist, so you just gotta be sure not to have that what do you call it, writing it like it's a story.
The dialogue is for the reader. The script is for the artist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the panels, yeah, descriptors are for the artist.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get back to fulfilling Palace of the Golden Princess. I got the comics in, and I'm gonna get to shipping those out because there are no more scripts for us to go
You
over.
go make your money, Preston.
That's right. And tomorrow I'm launching Lords of Iron, the Value campaign. So I'm gonna be interested to see how that does. And then after that comes Palace, and Palace has already flexed its muscles and proven that Fantasy Titty is way more interesting than like big giant robots. So message received. I got it.
Well.
Way bigger than what? Wait, say that again?
Than giant robots in space.
and you
Yeah.
don't need the help of Ethan to make money and stuff.
Yeah, I don't. Yes, but
Anyone
that
need help?
wasn't the question. But yeah, but yeah,
I'm saying it's a
that is
plus.
what-
It's a
yeah.
plus.
I mean, for that matter, John Lamont is tearing him up. He crossed 7,500. He's got 2 days left, so check out Spirit of the Dragon. Yeah.
Spirit of the Dragon.
Yeah, or as I like to call it, Not Dragon Warrior. So that's on Kickstarter right now. And look, the people who come here and they get their stories worked out, and they go on to Kickstarter, they tend to be successful. And if they're not, they come back, and I tend to help them. So there you go. And Larry, I did get the book returned. So now I have one more book that I can send.
Ooh.
Yay. So yeah, I fulfilled Larry's Indiegogo, and there were people on that list who did not want to receive anything from
Apparently,
a man named Preston
yeah.
Poulter. Oh well.
Well, there's still one guy going back and forth with Indiegogo over it, and I'm
Which is
just
not
like,
a platform I don't even like, so I'm like, cancel me. I
Yeah.
don't give a damn, but whatever.
But like, I'm just
Yeah.
sitting there thinking, like, okay,
Yeah.
so I gave you a book, and then I gave you another book.
Yeah,
and,
and
you're
I
mad
gotta say,
now.
like, I
Yeah.
really don't like Indiegogo's the way Indiegogo does it, which is they are in this case, the customer, wrongly, in my opinion, was saying, hey, Preston Poulter is a bad guy. I didn't want him to have my information. My information's not secure. When Indiegogo is now sharing that information with me, if I was a jerk, I now know who is complaining about me, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I know. That's just it. And
it's not a good policy.
no,
Yeah, I
no.
don't like
It reminds me of
Yeah.
dealing with like HR when I worked for companies, and they would message the person I was complaining about and
Right,
say, "This
yeah.
person said you just said it was confidential."
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, and you're telling the person
yeah.
who I just complained about my complaint. Anyway, it's weird.
It's weird. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna get off to shipping, but
Yeah.
see everybody next week. We'll finish up the Shadowrun story, and anyway, cool. Exciting things are happening.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
See you later.
See ya.
Night, everybody.